Oh, this is my 82 Firebird SE. Yes, it's an SE special edition. Well, it is now. I mean, well, it was, but I mean, I have the original brochure and stuff for it, and but obviously, it's not what it was originally. When I got it, think I was like 21 or something, and had it for like 28 years. But it's modified. It's not a pretty car, like show car. Hey, let's go sit there and uh, wipe it down with a diaper or anything like that. It's just more of like performance and just want to beat on it kind of car, something for fun. Um, Obviously, the Dumicus Epicus is just a symbol from the band Candlemass. Epicus Dumicus Metallicus, great doom metal, product of Insanity. Well, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the car, maybe its owner. uh, it does have its, issues here and there. It's been in a couple of accidents, and I straightened it out as best as I could. And it just got some Mickey Thompson 10s on the back. It's got a Richmond 373 rear end. And so, yeah, I had put in a roll bar, and I ended up having to do subframe connectors because the car was kind of twisting when I first put the engine in it. I don't know if you can really see. The windshield had cracked from the body flexing, and so once I did that, then I had obviously, the snowball. If you ever build one of these kind of cars or make something like this, it's a snowball effect, and you end up having to go one step further and one step further and one step further. So I ended up having to put subframe connectors in and a drive shaft loop in it, and but that was way back then. Now it's like, yeah, the body and interior could use some work, but it's all about time and money and other projects that I've got going, and it really doesn't matter. I've had the car for 28 years, and sits a lot, and I just take it out here and there and beat on it. So that is obviously it is a true supercharger. And one more thing about it, how it just kind of snowballed, was I got a 4-bolt main Buick block from this guy at Napa for a case of beer, and so I was just going to build some kind of modest engine, and next thing you know, it got a little carried away, as always. And, if you put a Kohler crank in it, if you do these forged pistons, and these heads, blah, blah, blahs, to getting more power out of it. So it ended up being a blueprinted motor built by, well, is this a plug for them? MPG Race Engines out of Highland Park, Illinois. Well, the original owner doesn't own it anymore. So he did the block for me, and I basically did everything else as far as putting it all in and assembling it. The trans, I went through like 5 transmissions to finally get one that was right. The first one lasted about 30 days, and it just tore the torque converter right off the flywheel. And finally I went with it's a automatic, but I wanted to manually shift it. And so, I mean, this one has been a very good trans. It was built by Jimmy's Race Transmissions in Mundelein, Illinois. Oh, there's another plug. Hey, I should get paid for that. I did put in a line lock. You can see the buttons there. So I haven't really used that much, as of late. I just take it out and ride it. And I did a air suspension with an onboard compressor, and definitely wanted to, and yeah, I did put in the nitrous stuff. At the moment, none of that's not hooked up at the moment. But the pistons were cupped and everything were made for this car to be nitrous. So the bottle's in the back, and go to the back section. All right, so I put the battery in the back because this pretty much to me was useless space anyway. It's not like I'm going grocery shopping with this car. So this is just the rear view. Yeah, like I say, there's a nitrous bottle. I would like to get back to working on that. So, well, you know, you see the little, whatever, it's like a gorilla mask. I like to sometimes drive around with a gorilla mask on. People pull up next to me and they see a gorilla driving a car. You know, just one of them goofy humor things, whatever. So, it is a very, I do like it. It does definitely have the power. So, you know, it's just got that sound from the back. You hear it. So, you know what, I think just for the sake of humor, I'll go out and give that line lock a test. Alright, so I did my little test with my line lock, and as you see from the video at the front end, whatever, it didn't really want to grab, but you know, I mean, I did lay some good rubber patches. I mean, these were just little test patterns. But I haven't really used that line lock in such a long time, and so maybe I need some adjustments or some stuff. But you know, project cars are usually a never-ending process of wrenching on this or that. But I mean, it did, you know, hold up for a moment. But I was really looking for a good burnout on it. So that's about all I can say about the line lock. Is probably needs a little work. All right, so briefly about, I said I had the original brochures. I had ordered them from this company here. Oh man, there's another plug for somebody I'm not getting paid for. Damn. Anyway, so when I bought the car originally, I mean, I never thought I was going to keep it as long as I did, but it had, 35,000 miles on it, and I bought it used, and, I paid, what, 56, 38, blah, blah, blah for it, and it was fully loaded, and it just, however it was, I tried to, I was going to just, I was going to keep it for a while and get something else. But then I got into working on it, and so, I mean, it looked like that. It didn't have a spoiler. It had the crazy hubcaps, and, at the time I'm like, I really don't like that. And then, then I got into a accident with it. Somebody came down an off-ramp and, didn't look when they emerged, and there was nowhere I could go, so they sideswiped it. And that was about it. And then, so when I had it redone, it came out looking like that. I had different rims on it, and different kind of a color. Well, yeah, I know, I just cut the back end of the picture. It didn't really have a flat end. But it was like, really cool. Okay, I liked it. Paint color was different. It didn't look, the gold wasn't like that. It's more of an orange, or a little darker, thicker, richer color. So I was really happy with that. Then once again, somebody making a left turn, and of course I'm driving it in the snow like an idiot. It just happened that my beater car was broke and I had to pull it out. So a kid comes out with an S10 pickup, swerves, fishtails, and plows into the driver door. And the insurance company wouldn't put it back to that condition. They'd only paint it back to that. And they wouldn't put parts on it because of its age. They only would Bondo it. I'm like, oh, well, great. I mean, I do have new OEM parts in my garage, just haven't gotten to putting them on. So however that was, it was kind of lame. Here's another thing. I'll hold on a second here. Pause. All right, sorry about that. So another thing was, when I started like modifying it, was getting into the emissions aspect of it. So I got like that, and I had to send these pictures in with a form, and saying had it classified as a race car, a street legal race car, and then I got these exempt notices, but you had to meet requirements. You had to have the harness. You had you just had to show certain aspects of it, and then once it became a antique vehicle, then I no longer had to do any of that. But so I guess that's why the body and interior I never went back to that. It was like it was done twice and it was hit twice, or how does that go? Yeah, it was hit, done, and I just, out of frustration of that, I'm like, but I mean, that motor, this is like when that motor was first put in. So, I mean, it looked, nice, sparkly, new back there in '96. So, I bought the car. I know it says somewhere in that little blah blahs about when I bought it, but it was like December 11th of 1987. And then that motor went in July of '96, and now we're into June of 2018. So that gives you really perspective. I mean, how long I've had this thing. So, all right, well, enough of that. I think we'll take it off for a little rip through the back roads. All right. I'm going to take a little rip through the back roads. Now, what's good about the back roads is, yeah, you can open it up, but the bad part is you got to really be careful how many, you know, deer do cross the road. And I've had a couple experiences on a motorcycle, crotch rocket wise, where, you know, next thing you know, a deer leaps out and you're hammering down. So so this is just basically a rip, so you could hear the sound of the motor from the inside of the car. Honestly, that was the second attempt of that rip. I had to rig this whole thing up between the roll bars. Yeah, it's kind of a total, yeah, whatever, shoulda, woulda, coulda on how to do that. But the first one was, it was too unstable. It wasn't a smooth thing. It was shaking too much, so I had to attach a, you know, whatever, like a grill skewer rotisserie thing, and some threaded rod and some gray tape and an old chainsaw bar, and then tape the phone to the board, and then tape the board to this, and you know. All right, well, that's enough of that. All right, well, that's it for my little infomercial on my 1982 Firebird SE. It got a little longer than I thought. My first one I put on there, if you kind of look down in my list of videos, there was one I was just kind of testing out. So this is kind of like a redo of that. All right, well, I'm not going to leave you hanging on that. I will go out and just do a good old-fashioned brake torque burnout. I'm just waiting for, it's kind of raining here, so I was going to wait for the rain to stop, and then I'll just give you a little old-fashioned brake torque burnout. Because the line lock, I looked at it, and it's just whatever. I got to do some adjustments to that. So, hey, you guys, I would like you to hit the subscribe button so I don't have to keep texting you the latest videos. It'd be easier to do that, and a like. And I'd like to special thanks to YouTuber Brandon BPFP, who really kind of got me inspired back into doing some videos. You know, I used to do them all with like a camcorder, and you had to do a lot of goofing around to do them. I do have some YouTube videos out there somewhere under a different name. So this is just kind of like the first videos done off my cell phone. And the other thing is, you know, you guys out there who have project cars or are working on them, hey, yeah, I know the money gets kind of goofy sometimes with it. So, you know, I never planned on keeping my car as long as I have it, you know, like 28 years or God knows how long. I said 87 to 2018. So, you know, just put it off to the side for a while. And in the meantime, take it out and beat on it and have some fun. Yeah, they break, but that's just what these cars are. You know, once you start wrenching on them and modifying them, then, well, weakest link is always the thing. So the other thing is, you know, it's inspired by, my car is not, you know, it's not a show car, whatever, by any means or anything. It's more, was inspired more by the movie Mad Max. You know, the scene where he goes in and they fire up the black car and, you know, the blower, Max, the blower. So, I mean, you know, from that, you know, that and the crotch rockets and all that from that movie, I'm sure it really inspired a lot of different people to really kind of build a street rod like that. And, you know, anyway, hey, except another plug there for Udo, who's got a lot of great music. And except no shit. So, all right, I'm going to leave you with a burnout. And that's my video. And thanks for watching. And hit the subscribe.